It says we're here.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I'm here until my existence is validated by others.
And I still don't see us.
The delay.
In the window that matters.
Right. You say that every week, and I say every week, there's a delay. And so we continue on in our routines and patterns because they make us happy. I don't know if I'm here, but I say we proceed as if we are.
Sure.
Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lortz.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream, and we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 7 minutes early. If you're here for the live stream and you don't like idle chit chat, oh, you might have come to the wrong place. But you got time to go do some stuff.
Right.
If you are here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps, and you do not like idle chit chat, fast forward by about 7 minutes.
There you go.
Oh, God.
And yeah, for those of you who can see us, I'm a little dusty today.
You're dusty. Yeah, we'll talk about why that is at some point. I gave you that funny look and did like that during the intro because when I said my name, I was like, no, is that right? Is that how we do this?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this anymore.
It's only been a week and, you forgot already.
I know. The brain is not braining right now, so
yeah,
for good reason, but still. I'm going to say hello to folks.
Go ahead.
Hi, Kitty. Hi, Dorina. Hi, Silent. Hi, Tayshu. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Andre. Am I saying it right? Is it Sevda? Hello, whether I say it right or not. Hi, Lady Blooding. Hi, Rara. Oh, my gosh. Yes. JB literally came in from the shop, had a bite to eat for lunch, and here we are. I just said, I can't do makeup today. I can't. I'm not even wearing my collar. That's how out of it we are. Wow.
Well, you've been working too.
Yeah. Different kind of working. And
we were up at the
ass crack of dawn.
Yeah.
There goes the monetization.
That was quick.
Oh, yay, great. I'm glad I said it right. Yeah, none of our lives get monetized.
No.
Sometimes the Friday night stream will stay monetized, but none of the episode ones. Yeah. So, whatever. It's fine. But yeah, we got up at 5:30 this morning to go help out my aunt and uncle. I'm sure we'll complain about that in the bonus section. It's not a complaint. We were happy to be able to help them. But they just needed very early help.
Yeah.
And so I'm...
And in a way, it's a good thing it was early.
Yes.
Rather than...
Well, we would have probably had to go, sorry, we cannot help. Can we send you an Uber? Like, right. How can we help you? But I had a long day yesterday. From work and getting ready for the kinkery ready for Black Friday, and then didn't sleep all that great, and so then woke up early, and this morning I must have been going on, I don't know, autopilot or adrenaline, maybe both, because now middle of the day when I still have stuff to do, like, I just want to curl up and go to sleep. I can't blink for too long or just shut my eyes because they will stay that way. I will fall asleep.
Right. And I think it's very telling because the amount of coffee we had is insane, and yet still.
And still. So your amount of coffee is insane. When I finish this one, that will be my insanity. And then I'll move on to my tea, and I would say Diet Coke, but I only have caffeine-free Diet Coke right now, which makes me sad. But yeah, you had your hot coffee this morning. We didn't need to leave the house till 6:30, but 5:30 had to. He needed coffee, I needed a shower. And then we, as a
nobody wants me to leave the house without coffee.
We've done it before, but only to immediately go get coffee. So, and then as a thank you, they, got us Starbucks, which was fine.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I had ingested all day, other than my medication, my daily medication.
Same.
So, and now I'm on this cup of coffee. Hi, Cameron.
Ooh, you know what?
What?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got 3 minutes. Well, I mean, I won't start regardless. If we have to start late, we have to start late.
You mentioned medication.
Oh, do you have medication? Oh, he didn't take his meds today. He needs to take his meds. Hi, Astra. So, yeah. I got nothing else, y'all. I could talk about what all we're doing with the kinkery right now and today, but I'm sure we'll talk about that later. So, don't need to talk about it now. It's a good kind of like frazzled and tired. It's the kind I want. I want to be busy getting products ready. We just gave ourselves a very tight deadline, and now I don't know if we're gonna make it. So we shall see.
Deadline for what?
Getting ready for our Black Friday sale.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since we want it to start early. Because I don't know if I should be in charge of setting sales because I suck at the calendar. Because had I been looking at it, we might have started our Black Friday sale a little earlier than we did. I don't know. There are reasons why it's starting now, but... So... Thanks, Lady Blooding. I have more to add, more resin daggers. I had to stop production of resin daggers because my molds crapped out on me. I was supposed to do a drop of resin paddles. My mold crapped out on me, and I've run out of time, so I'm going to try and have those ready for... We usually run a sale in December, which is free shipping on orders of $35 or more. U.S. only, sorry, international folks. So hopefully they'll be ready by then, but I only have a limited amount of those because, like I said, the mold crapped out on me. So, yeah. And actually, there's two things I'm stressed out about right now with the kinkery getting ready for Black Friday. The sheer amount of resin daggers to get up on the site. Because I did get a lot made before my molds died. And I have to, right before sale, reconfigure the product page of two of our most popular products. Because some back-end gobbledygook website stuff, insert technical words here, and I have to do it by today or the product page won't even work by tomorrow. So, yeah.
And in between all this, the our company's safety record has gone down the shitter.
Yeah, two cuts on my thumb, one of which was not work related, it was dishes related, and I sanded off some of the skin on my finger.
Yeah. Well, I pinched this finger in the outfeed on the planer.
Yep, you did.
And
that's
something to tell you about that later. Then, of course, I scratched it.
Same finger.
Then on my thumb,
we're hot messes right now.
I cut it when I was trimming some resin for Kayla. And then when I was helping her unmold one of her paddles, then it stabbed me in the finger.
And that was when the paddle was crapping out.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, and Andre said, Canada has no mail service. I know I don't know if it's been helpful for folks because I didn't have time to look it up. For international orders in general, because of other issues we've had, but specific to Canada because of the post-strike, I've been using UPS. So I had to start doing that for international orders because the post office not only kept like crushing boxes, it then can take 2 to 3 months if something's undeliverable for it to get back to me.
Yeah.
So we're going with UPS. Anyway, we are a minute late and you have something you have to say before I can do anything.
Hello, everyone.
There we go. As you can tell from the title, we're going to do a BDSM response reaction. I always forget what the hell I call it and what I even mean. We're taking posts off BDSM subreddits and we're answering the questions asked. Ta-da. We are also going to do a little segment on some Black Friday sales, not just our own, but others for anybody looking for like sex and kink toys at a discount. So that's what we're doing today. If you enjoy this, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough, you want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And then go ahead and ring that notification bell so you get updates and new content.
There you go. And that's all I've got to say about that. I'm not doing the Patreon.
Yeah.
Right now. We're about to talk about way too much shit. So I was like, yeah.
Yep.
Patreon, yeah. There you go. That's our promo.
Okay. All right. Am I ready to click the button?
Okay, so it comes under announcements, but it's really not. Before we get into the Reddit stuff, we're going to do a small little section on Black Friday deals based on, yes, our shops, of course, but also shops and or products we like. This is kind of a throwback to when we used to do our favorite sex toys of the year, but that was when we were reviewing a dozen or more sex toys a year, and we haven't done that. Now that I accidentally Instagrammed too close to the sun, people are reaching out more. So, in 2025, maybe, I don't know. So we're gonna do that so that if anybody is looking to save on any kink or sex toy products, let's not pay full price if we don't have to.
Right.
Okay. So let me get my list up. It's a fairly short list. So we'll start off with our own. The Kinkery is having a Black Friday sale. It's actually the best discount we've ever given, and normally the only folk who get this discount are our proud crickets on Patreon. 25% off. We're recording on Wednesday, and I'm hoping by Wednesday night the sale is live. That's what I'm working towards. If you're on our Kinkery email list, you'll get an email about it. It'll be on social media the day after the email goes out. I'll put it in the Loving BDSM newsletter this week. Like, we'll try and let you know. But yeah, Kinkery, I expanded the candle, wax play candle colors. We've now added green. It's not on the website as I'm speaking, but time travel, when the sale starts, it will be there. And it came out as a really pretty green. It's a dark green. And we'll have some other bits and things, and we're doing holiday and winter themed Diabolical 6. Yeah, it's exciting. Our Etsy shops are on sale because I should not be in charge of calendars. The Loving BDSM Etsy shop and my Book Dreams Etsy shop, book themed things. Day of recording Wednesday, 25% off. JB's handmade wood items shop, the 25% starts on Thursday because I can't be trusted with calendars. Okay. So that's us. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Thank you, Taishu, for letting me know in the chat. Elegantly owned on Etsy, 25% off. If you're looking for a new collar, I am not wearing my collar today because y'all are lucky I'm wearing clothes at this point.
Yeah.
But if you've ever seen my collar or a picture of my collar and thought, that's pretty, that's who it's from, Elegantly Owned.
He does some beautiful work.
Taishu does amazing work. So while there's a sale, take advantage of it. I will be linking all of these things in the places, so you don't have to go look for it. Of course, this is the moment I've realized I did not link to Elegantly Owned. There we go. Sorry, I'll get that link up. Okay. The first one on the list is a genuine favorite toy of yours for the year.
Yeah.
We just put out the video review. That will be in the Loving BDSM newsletter on Friday. Fusey Fun Wave.
Yep.
And it's a surround sound prostate perineum penis toy. Like, all the bits,
It covers all the bits.
Covers all the bits. And then if you're having penetrative sex with a partner, they get some...
One toy to rule them all.
One toy to rule them all. Yeah, and the sale is actually a pretty good deal. It's normally $75, and it's currently like $49.
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you're like... This toy looks weird because it's one piece of silicone for... back end to front end and just wraps around. Is it still in your top 3?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he says. So if you're like, what is this modern marvel? Link to the stuff and go check it out. The next one is my favorite toy of the year that got to try in 2024. The review is not up yet. It's also not recorded. I'm hoping to have that by the beginning of December. It's by WeVibe, and it's called the Wand 2. It's essentially that big headed vibrator toy that I always like, the wand massager, in WeVibe with WeVibe technology.
There you go.
Technically, the app works with it. I don't use the app. This is a toy that if you're using on yourself, you need a hand on it. So I don't know what I would be doing with my phone.
I'll hook up on the app and that.
Sure you will. I'm sure you will. So Love Honey sent me the WeVibe toy. So I linked to Love Honey because they're having a huge Black Friday sale too. But WeVibe has like some of our favorite toys. The WeVibe Chorus, still one of our favorite toys. Your WeVibe that you like, the Bond?
Bond and the Vector.
And the Bond is prostate. And the
No. Bond is ring.
Cock ring. And Vector is
prostate.
prostate.
Is the prostate, yes.
They have a panty one, the Melt, that's actually pretty good. I'm very about panty vibrators. That one's a good one. So yeah, I'll also link to WeVibe. They are having sales as well. So far, none of these have been affiliate links, but we do have a couple of affiliate links. I wanted to just, because I follow them on Instagram and they keep putting out pretty things and we like the company. Go to Mish out of the UK.
Yeah.
Is actually having a sale all November long. They still do the silicone dildos that they've done forever, and the silicone masturbators, which you like. They're called the Offbeat.
Yep.
They also now do a ton of stuff with grinding.
Yes.
Oh my God. They've got some handheld. They've got some strap on that you can put it on a thigh.
Yep.
They're gorgeous. I don't do much grinding, not because I don't like it, but because I'm a routine queen and there's a way I do it and I don't deviate often. That is an affiliate link. But yeah, definitely go check them out in general. Especially if you want a beautiful dildo.
They
Their
do
dildos are gorgeous.
They do some beautiful colors with their silicone.
And I think they do some pre-made stuff now and still the made to order where you pick your colors. But they're having a sale the entire month of November. So yeah, if you're looking for a good silicone dildo, the stockroom might be having a Black Friday sale. I went looking and I'm like,
didn't see anything. Wow.
Are y'all doing what we're doing and panic planning on Wednesday? I don't know. I will always like the stockroom because their BDSM stuff in general comes from really good brands. So if you've not checked them out before, feel free. They run sales all the time. If I promoted every sale they email me about, y'all would be so tired of me. But they haven't sent anything about their Black Friday sale. Podcast listeners, by the time you can even hear the sound of my voice, we're in Black Friday. So go click the link. That is an affiliate link too. Anybody who's confused, affiliate links, if you make a purchase using that link, we get a small commission. There we go. But I like to disclose them because some people have feelings about affiliate links. We are not paid to promote any of these. Not even the Fusey Fun or the WeVibe Wand. We did it in exchange. Because every time I've tried to charge for a review because that's more common, I feel like I can't say what I want to say. So I just went, no, fuck it. Just give me the product. Do not pay me. I can't do it.
Right.
SheVibe is another online store for sex toys that we like. Their Black Friday sale is going on right now. They have all kinds of stuff. Their wand vibrator selection's really, really good. But on the front page of their site, they have some monster dildos, like dildos based on and there were some pretty ones. So I always love recommending SheVibe. Electrostim. I got an email that as an email subscriber, I have early access to, so I don't know when it officially starts. They're doing a sale, Black Friday sale, up to 50% off. And so some stuff will be under that 50%. That is where we got the Electrostim Axis, which is basically a TENS unit, and our Electro paddle. Fucking love that paddle. I don't like the side that doesn't give the electric buzz. That's really stingy and painful. But I love the side where you do get to feel the electroplay.
The buzzy buzz.
Because it's like a buzz. It's a delightful. That is also an affiliate link. There is one for YouTube folks that won't be good until Friday, but podcast listeners, the link will be in the places. Dom Sub Living, who we've partnered with several times over the past several years, they're discounting the replay of the Dom Sub Virtual Summit from earlier this year. So if you weren't able to get in on that and get access to all that content, we did a class on punishment and rewards. You can, as of Friday, Black Friday, it'll be half off. It'll be $49 to get instant replay access to everything that was shared during the actual summit. So, and that's an affiliate link. Whew. So yeah, for general, I just want to browse, Stockroom, She Vibe, Love Honey. For specific stuff, silicone dildos, grinders, blah, 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 Go to Mish, Electroplay stuff, Electrostim, anything We Vibe with apps, the We Vibe shop, Fusey Fun. I don't know if anybody else carries the Fusey Fun wave, but the FuseyFun.com site does. And if the idea of a surround sound toy for anybody who happens to have a penis intrigues you, I'll link to the review. You need to
like
go
I said,
watch.
one toy to rule them all.
One toy to rule them all. And then if you're looking for a collar, elegantly owned on Etsy. And then, of course, there's the kinkery. I really hope I'm not sliding into a Black Friday sale on midnight. If we could do it before dinner, I'd be happy.
There you go.
Okay. That was my, as rapid-paced, caffeine-high favorite products and shops for Black Friday. Don't pay full price if you don't have to.
There you go.
So... let's get into these. I basically picked stuff that I thought had a good chance of maybe getting me a little ranty.
Which could be any of them.
Right. So if I recall, I think all of these posts that I picked are a little maddening. It's like either the person asking the question or the person involved with the person asking the question said or did something where you're like, are you fucking kidding me? And that was the vibe I was going for this month's Reddit response. Okay, let's go to the first one. Turned off by my boyfriend's BDSM pictures. So I've been with my boyfriend in a long distance relationship for 4 months and things are going perfect, except we're both really kinky and submissive. In the beginning, we took the BDSM test and he scored really high in being a rigger and a dom, but none of that turned out to be true once we met and had sex. Also, during our sex talks, I took the initiative once and now he's acting really submissive towards me. When we met, he never initiated and even seemed afraid to go full force. I had to take the lead and I hate that. I'm a sub who wants to be dominated badly. We didn't have sex often. We haven't really had any dirty talk in over a month because of our schedules, and yesterday I told him about how much I miss that and we should explore more together. Then he started to send me pictures in submissive poses and being gagged, and I was really turned off. I feel so fucking bad. He's perfect in every way, and being masochistic is really his thing, but also mine. I don't feel wound up seeing him tied up or begging for mercy. I don't think I can fulfill that dom role for him. He's perfect in every way except sexually. Turns out he's more submissive than me. At least it seems like it. I'm a sex maniac. Okay. And it's quite important to me, and honestly, I don't know how to move forward without hurting him badly. I want to see what our sex will be like during our second meetup, but if you're a dom, that's naturally already in you, and that was nowhere to be found within him. My feelings have changed a bit towards him because I suddenly realized we're not compatible at all. We both have the same fantasies, but 2 subs together? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. I'm sorry, I think my attitude came out towards the end there. Sorry. Go ahead. What say you?
They need a third to dom them.
Somebody in the comments said the same thing.
They can be together, just need that third person to dom them both.
Assuming that they're open to it.
Right.
Sure. I have 2 things.
Okay.
One, and I get why people do it. They don't want to sound like they're bad talking somebody, or they feel like they have all these other good qualities. There's just a thing missing. Stop saying somebody's perfect and then listing all the things you don't like about them.
Yeah.
They are not perfect for you if that's
the case.
And I get why people say that. They're perfect, except then are they perfect? Yeah, one, perfection doesn't exist, but two, he's amazing, except here are these things I hate about him. Like, what? It's an incompatibility, of course it is. So then you just have to decide, do you want to invite a dom in who's like, sure, I'll take on both?
Or do you want to go your separate ways and each find your person?
Right, exactly. Yeah. The two things, though, that stood out to me, it starts at the top where they say when they took the BDSM test in the beginning and his came out, he was a rigger and a dom. All I wondered, and we are not hearing from the boyfriend, so can't ever know, is did he answer the questions honestly, or did he answer them as he thought he was expected to answer them? And then started exploring and went, oh, wait, no. No, I'm actually doing something else here. And the other part, because the question itself, it's a simple thing.
Yeah.
Find a third or go your separate ways. The part that made me go, oh, it was, but if you're a dom, that's naturally already in you. It can be for many. For some, it is. Yeah. But it can also be a learned thing if you want to learn. The thing about being a dom is not that it's naturally in you. It's that you have to, some part of it has to intrigue you enough that you want to explore it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was like, okay. I feel for this person having this issue. You meet a person that you think you're great with. You think you're compatible. You find out you're not. That's a basic one. But this whole, it's supposed to naturally be you. And if you're not it, I just wanted to go, no, that's not true.
Yeah. that to me sometimes when, they say, oh, you have to be a natural at it. Otherwise you're not, real. That's right up there with one true wayism.
Yes, absolutely. And I get where the thinking comes from, because any little bit of media you're getting about kink, whether it's books you read or porn or even the few movies that it kind of shows up in, you tend to see dom or sub as if they were kind of always this way, but something brought it out in them, whether it's their trauma or whether it's, I don't get to be the boss at work, so I want to be the boss, in the bedroom or whatever, like whatever tropes they're using. But it is just a trope. It's not, some people will fit that, but others won't. And I think the concern I have is how invalidating it can be for people who are like, well, I don't feel this naturally, but I am curious and I am learning this, that I am capable of this and that I enjoy this. Yeah. To then be told that maybe they're not really, air quote that.
I mean, don't get it wrong. There are people who are, because I look at, being a big D, you're a leader. Okay. And, there are people who, yes, are natural leaders.
Absolutely.
Okay. And there are others who have that grain in them and, they can learn.
And some people don't realize, whether through life circumstances, gender roles, societal expectations based on wherever you grew up and however you grew up, whatever it is, some people don't even realize that they have it within them to take control or to have the power or to lead in the way that a dominant can lead, until they finally have the opportunity to go figure out if that's something that they enjoy. And I don't think any of those folk would or maybe some of those folk would not say that it came naturally to them, because quite frankly, they had to set aside everything they'd been taught by the world to go, hey, I've got this within me. The other thing is natural leaders. We've talked about this. Submissives can be natural leaders. We just aren't always going to be leading, or our leadership.
Not always naturally going to be the leaders. Yeah.
Right. And our leadership tends to look like service in some form or fashion. So yeah, I just, the stereotypes and the tropes and the cliches.
I know. Right.
Also, if I seem to be speaking fast, blame it on all the coffee.
Right.
Okay. This one is asked, am I the asshole? But they did not put it in the BDSM, am I the asshole subreddit run by our friend Rara. And I wish people would use that one because I go there first. And if there's not anything new or anything that looks interesting, so I found it here in BDSM advice, but here we go. Am I the asshole? Dom left to party during long distance denial play, says I'm gaslighting him. Here's a too long didn't read. A new Dom told me to put a butt plug in for him, long distance, and then went out to party before wrapping up the scene or giving further instructions. I felt abandoned during play, which he says is gaslighting, and gave him the ick. I already don't like this guy, but here we go. Let's get into it. I, 29 female, have been dating someone, 38 male, for 3 weeks, and it was going extremely well. I have some sub-kink experience, mostly around impact, and he has been in formal DS relationships, both sexual and lifestyle. So in addition to vanilla interests, we were also really aligned on him helping me grow and explore fuller submission in a safe way. After 3 weeks of dating, I left for a 2-week pre-planned international vacation, which I'm at the end of now. He and I have texted every day, and just 2 days ago, he told me he really sees me in his future, is so excited and happy that we're together, and would be ecstatic to see me when I got home. I completely reciprocated. The next day, I was souvenir shopping and popped into a sex shop. While there, he told me to purchase a butt plug and wear it for him on my way out, but that I was still not to come until I was with him. That was previously agreed upon. The butt plug suggestion really took me by surprise, but I went along with it. After putting it in, I got really turned on and started texting him increasingly frantically as I dropped into the subby role. The texting started strong on both sides, but over the next 30 to 60 minutes, he started replying less and less frequently and with less engaged responses. For an example, like with just an emoji. Eventually, I asked if he had gone out since it was Saturday night, and he seemed not to be paying attention to me. He said, "Indeed I did. You can take the plug out when you get back to the hotel." I crashed immediately. All of the euphoria of playing with him went away when I realized he wasn't focused on the scene anymore, and the wrap-up felt dismissive. So I told him that I felt abandoned and foolish, which was also making me angry. He said, "What?" I said I wish we had set up better expectations since this play was new to me and had made me feel really vulnerable, especially realizing that he wasn't engaged the way I was. He disagreed. In short, he said I should feel joyful that he was choosing to play with me at all while he was out living his life. I tried to explain that the experience had been emotional and intense for me, and I'd wanted to share that with him, but he stopped replying. In the morning, he said I'd given him the ick, I was guilting and gaslighting him, and that he no longer wanted to see me when I get back, like ever again. I'm just reeling. This was my first time trying long-distance play or denial play to this level. It was an exciting but also scary experience, and he's made me feel like I completely fucked it up by wanting more of his attention. Am I the asshole?
No, you didn't fuck it up. What you did was you brought it to light what he really is.
Yes.
And you should be happy that he doesn't want to see you when you get back.
That's called dodging a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to feel like shit, and that sucks. But after 3 weeks, good to know.
And it may take some time, but there's going to come a point that you're going to look back and say, yeah, that was close.
Yeah. Phew, glad that one's... Yeah. So, I mean, is it possible to do long distance play while one or both of you are out living your life, and for responses to get a little intermittent? Yeah. I personally would not recommend playing like that.
No.
Unless you both know. Like, if he had said, "Hey, we're going to do this, but I'm going to be out at a party for a few hours."
Yeah.
Just know that, right? Or, hey, if you're going to be out while doing this shopping, like, you would give me long distance play things. I'd be wearing a butt plug while I was out grocery shopping. Like, it was part of the point was to get to play while doing real life stuff. But there was also a conversation and an understanding about it. But also, and I hope this person walks away with the hard-won knowledge that it can be exciting to be given a task, air quote that however you'd like, or a new sexual experience off the cuff, but even if it sounds exciting in the moment, my recommendation would be until we can talk it out, I'll buy the butt plug, but I'm not putting it in me until we've talked about playing like this.
What's expected, yeah.
Right. Because having the emotional and intense feelings and that reaction, getting in that subby headspace that deeply, that's not that uncommon.
Right.
And, you know, when it's a new thing especially, you know, not having some sort of contact or access to your dom that you are anticipating that you would normally have without being told ahead of time, that can fuck a person up. Also, that guy doesn't know what gaslighting means.
Right. You know, and I have to say, you know, in you listening to this, but I can't talk. You know, I think the one thing that this person may have been in error about, and they admitted it in the thing, was, you know, not understanding it, not knowing the expectations.
Right.
You know, and, you know, give them a little bit of a,
sure,
you know, because they're kind of new, I think they said in this.
Right.
You know, so, but the thing is, they learned something because they said, you know, should have been a little clear about this in the beginning.
Right. If this guy was as experienced and as good and as this and whatever else was promised, you know, in the previous 3 weeks, there would have been maybe a deeper discussion. There would have been some expectation management. There would have been something. I want new people, kinksters of any kind, of any side of the slash, to think about these things before they happen to them so that you can go, hey, can we talk about this? But the fact of the matter is, sometimes it's going to come up and you're not going to know, and it's going to be a lesson you learn for the future. Yeah. And, you know, if this guy was supposed to be somebody who was teaching her how to be submissive in a safe way, well, he's already fucking
screwed that up.
Up the test. Because he's like, oh, we haven't talked about this. I'm not here to help you. There certainly won't be any aftercare, but go do this thing for me.
Right. I mean, you know, that to me, that, you know, priorities, you know, finish what you started kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I agree with you. Dodged a bullet there. Okay. Next one. My sub is getting clingy and I need advice. I've 28 female, had the same submissive 28 male for over a year with about a dozen sessions in that time frame. He's always been pretty behaved and knows my boundaries, except over the weekend it changed. My rules are don't touch me unless I say it's okay. He kept brushing his hands on me and I eventually had it and used bondage, but it still didn't stop him. Usually at the end I let him finish, and recently he's been interested in prostate play, so I'm training his body. I made him go into his usual position, and because he can't touch me, he starts leaning, so I'm kind of forced to show affection. Sex is not on the table. I know the risks of introducing that. I'm not a mean dom. I'm trying to keep him from getting attached, and any touch of affection gets him wired up. Anyway, he couldn't finish and kept begging that he wants to give me pleasure. I know exactly what that means, and he wouldn't stop begging. None of this has showed up the entire time we started last year, and I've only let him see my body once months ago to establish trust. I don't know what happened since our last session was in September. He refuses another dom, and when the idea of having another joined, he stonewalled me for a week. His career makes it hard to introduce him to the community. Is he attached? How do I fix this?
Wow.
Yeah.
I honestly don't
I
know what
is
to...
he violating boundaries?
Right.
Well, is he? No, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Is he doing it because he's attached and clingy and wants more from her than she's willing to give? Somebody in the comments said this is one of the reasons I chose this one, because I was like, wow, I don't know. Is he bratting? Does he know the rules, and is he breaking the rules? And that's not good bratting. That's not consensual bratting. Don't recommend. But is he flouting the rules in order to get something? Yeah. And just because, I mean, she's not going to know unless he tells her, but the thing I'm curious about is what has changed from all these sessions they've done and all this time where he's followed the rules and everything's been okay. Yep. And now he's like, I'm just curious because what is going on? What caused things to change?
And the only one who knows is...
Yeah, I mean, the question becomes, is the the relationship they've cultivated, is it worth it to her to go, I'm going to talk to you about it, I'm going to see what you, you know, do I want to keep this or attempt to keep this? And that's where conversation comes in.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say, but the feel I get from, you know, what the way all this is worded, it's almost like it's a professional.
I assumed it kind of was. It was a pro situation, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely something more casual and not meant to be the long term kind of, you know, relationship that way.
You know, I think in a way I can understand them getting, you know, even after over time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Kind of getting that little bit, that connection, that deeper connection.
That would not surprise me at all. But what causes them to do a 180 on respecting the boundaries and then not respecting them?
Right.
Well, we don't get to know that part. That's not part of that question, but I'd love to know.
Yeah. Love to be a fly on the wall for that one.
I mean, I think it comes down to a few things. Does she feel safe with him? If not, done. However that needs to end, that's like the appropriate way, go for it. If there's a curiosity to know what the hell happened here, you know, and or to correct behavior to get back on track, then yeah, absolutely have a conversation. But that, you know, depends on how much she wants to maintain.
Right. I mean, what there is, I mean, you know, you know, they need to sit down and she needs to see, you know, what's going on.
Right.
You know, and need to have that talk. And, you know, then at that point need to decide, well, you know, if you can respect these boundaries in the terms of this this relationship, you know, we can move forward. If not, we're going to have to, you know,
and I, you know,
cut and run.
Personally, I think it comes down to a vibe. If she's not feeling safe or there's something within her that goes, I don't even care, and or I don't trust him to come back to maintaining boundaries, cut your losses, move on. Yeah. But, you know, that's for me is one of those times, anytime safety is a concern, I think this, but, you know, it's one of those times where you don't have to have a long drawn out conversation. You can literally go, look, dude, I had like 2 fucking rules. Yeah. Not only did you not respect them, you repeatedly did it over a session. Yeah. And, you know, somebody in the comments was like, maybe it's bratting. And I could see that, but that to brat, if that is what they were doing, without the benefit of a conversation, to force the Dom to react.
Even that, you know, because, you know, bratting in and of itself should be a consensual thing.
Absolutely.
You know,
both sides need to know what the fuck's happening.
Both sides needs to know what's going on, and, you know, like anything else, you know, there's bratting, you know, you need to know what the limits are. Right. You know, and yada, yada, yada. And, you know, no, even if that's the case, none of that was established.
The only thing I did not see in here, and maybe, I mean, my brain is fuzzy, so maybe it was in here and I somehow missed it, was in the session, in my mind, she should have been like, instead of just using bondage to get his hands away, using positions, just gone, no. Right. No. Right. We're not doing this. This is not okay. And that would be my question of, why didn't you, not to like blame a victim. I don't want it to come across that way, but for future reference, why? Like what held her back from just saying no? Was it a safety and fear situation? That tells me everything. Then this is done. Yeah. If you didn't even feel safe,
if someone doesn't feel safe, that definitely that needs to.
But if it didn't come to their mind that they could or should, then I'm like, okay, what happened there? What was going on in your head about just not telling them stop that? Back off. Yeah. Do not touch. Whatever.
And again, you know, don't know for sure if this is like a pro-dom situation. It sounds like it.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
You know, my understanding, and I honestly don't know for a fact, but from, you know, seeing things online, different, most of these pro-doms, they usually have, or, you know, when they do with a client, they have other people around,
right? So that if there's a safety concern,
you know, so if there's something that happens, you know, they're kind of covered. You know, and again, we don't know if that's the case. It sounds like it to a certain extent, but you know.
But even if it wasn't, the thing I would tell her is, okay, in the future, no, just say no. Yeah. And quite frankly, the reaction to being told no will tell you a lot.
All you need to know right there.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Next one. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. Partner doesn't want to tell me what she likes. She wants me to figure it out. A few months ago, I, 35 male, started dating someone, 28 female, who has introduced me to BDSM sex for the first time. I had no idea I would enjoy BDS elements until now. Now I get it. She is also somewhat inexperienced, as she hasn't had a partner that would indulge her in what she wants. From what little I do know about BDSM, I know that communication is extremely important for many reasons. However, she is extremely resistant to talking about it matter-of-factly. She is always extremely vague to my questions and tells me to just do what I want. However, I don't just want to do what I want. I want to satisfy her as well, and more importantly, I don't want to do something she doesn't actually want. She told me there's nothing I could do that's totally off limits, but also said she would tell me if I did. I also had to insist very persistently to get her to choose a safe word, but she always avoids talking about it and says she just wants me to use her for whatever I want. All I can gather so far is that she enjoys playing like sex toy servant, mild degradation, and is quite the brat. I'm extremely confused because not only am I new, I don't know if I'm supposed to be a dom all the time or only in sessions, and I don't know more than a couple of specific things that really gets her off. It seems like she's shy about talking about it, or really has a kink where she really does just want me to have my way with her and do what I want, as if giving me hints beforehand would ruin it. I wonder if she thinks that I have to ask or need guidance, then I'm not really dominating. Should I refuse to keep playing until we have a more in-depth discussion? How should I handle this? Yes, you should refuse to play until there's in-depth conversation.
You know, no, oh my,
That sounds like somebody who has only read, seen, heard fantasies, and wants to indulge the fantasy, but does not have an understanding of all the work that goes into actually trying to have the fantasy.
You know, there unfortunately too, there is a mindset, you know, and it doesn't matter if it's in kink world or non-kink world, but you know, there are a lot of people that have mindset. Well, they should know what I want.
Oh, I know. I see that.
Yeah.
I Instagram Too Close to the Sun, and one of my reels popped off, and it's you know, about communication. And so many people are like, but I don't want to have to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, bitch, how you going to get what you want?
Right.
You got to say something.
You know, none of us, I don't give a shit who you are. None of us are psychic. No. All right. I'm not going to know what the hell's going on in your head unless I ask you.
Right.
Okay. So, you know, they definitely need to cut off play.
Absolutely.
And you know, the whole figuring shit out? No.
That's a landmine for both.
Right.
Because he could stumble into something that is traumatizing or just causes a pain she doesn't like or something. Or he could stumble into his own shit and be like, oh my God, this is horrifying. Yeah. You know, I didn't mean to do this to another human being.
I mean, they need to sit down, have a talk, do a checklist at the very least.
And so you can make a checklist sexy. If her thing is it doesn't feel sexy, and I've heard that before, it doesn't feel sexy. Or if I have to, if I have to tell you what I want, then I'm only getting it because I told you I want it. Yes, that is how things work.
That's how things kind of work.
That's how life generally works. Yeah. But that whole idea of you're not dominant if I have to tell you. Oh God. The toxic thinking about how to not communicate in relationships.
And it is that can be very toxic thinking. You know, in any aspect of life, it's not good.
So it's not. So the whole I don't want to have to tell you, I just want you to figure it out, or I just want you to know, or makes me think of that idea of if I have to tell you and you do it because I want it, then you didn't do it because you wanted it.
Yeah.
Makes me think of the side of the algorithm I tend to find myself on, the mental health therapy algorithm that will do the thing, kind of have those conversations about, well, if I have to tell you I want you to give me flowers and you give me flowers, then it's not meaningful. because you only gave me flowers as the example because I told you to. And the other person goes, yeah, you told me there's a thing you want, and I care about you so much that even though it's not a thing I thought of myself, I want to give you what you want because you being happy makes me happy. The same fucking principle applies. BDSM has the added layers of like inherent harm and risk and trauma, but it's like, if you tell me what you want and I give you what you want, I'm doing it because giving you what you want makes me happy because you're happy and so I'm happy. Now there's a lot of other reasons. I mean, come on now. But it's, and you know what? In my vanilla marriage and all my vanilla relationships, I absolutely had those kinds of thoughts. But part of that, this is the toxic relationship stuff, wasn't because, it was because in other ways I was not feeling seen, heard, or cared for by that partner. And so I thought if I had to tell you what I wanted because he was never paying enough fucking attention anyway, then it had less meaning. I've now learned when you're in a grown-up relationship, when everybody's acting like fucking adults and using their words, that feeling is not there at all. I want to tell you because the joy is you were gonna give me what I want.
Yeah.
It being kinky means you gonna give it to me the way you want to give it to me, but I'm still gonna have a good time. But also the other thing that this kind of attitude of I want you just to figure it out, or there's nothing you could do that would be, that tells me you only know about like 4 or 5 moves. You can only conceive of 3 or 4 things that can happen in kink because you don't know yet enough to know how broad the umbrella of kink really is. We've talked about this before. I think it was on the Friday Night Munch. It's like, yeah, it can go from a light slap on the ass to needles, y'all. Yeah. So, and even those needles don't have to be extreme in general, but some of us would consider that extreme because it's a spectrum of shit that can happen. And this person can only conceive of whatever has come up. Hold me down, handcuffs, spank my ass. And those things are fun and great. But there could be other things that he can think of because now he's learning about BDSM. And it's like, well, I'm trying to do my homework here. Hey, I could, make you choke on my cock until you vomit. Like, I want to choke on a cock. I don't want to vomit. My limit is I'm stopping right before I vomit.
Yeah.
If he just figures it out, she's going to be vomiting on his cock and then going, okay, not only am I traumatized, I don't want to do that shit ever again. Like, what? Right. What?
I know.
What?
I know.
What?
I know.
And the thing is if I sympathize with people who find it difficult to say the words, because when we talk about communication, we talk about verbalizing, looking your partner dead in the face and telling them the thing. That is not the only way to communicate what you want or don't want. Yeah. Write it down, voice message, something, email, like something.
Yeah. Now, I will say,
got myself hot. Sorry, y'all.
There is a bit of a red flag in all this.
Okay.
Because he had to drag a safe word.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
That's scary when someone just can't give you a safe word. All right.
Or doesn't want to. Like, really doesn't want to.
I mean, that's right up there with, well, I don't play with a safe word.
I don't like that
word. So it's the same thing, but in reverse, so to speak.
Yeah, because it's,
to me, that is a red flag right there.
Well, and it's because it's one of those things, again, that person cannot conceive of how wrong it could go, and also doesn't know enough yet to know that their inability to tell their dom or top that it's gone too far can fuck with their dom or top and make that person never want to fucking do that again either. Like, trauma can go both ways. I've gotten myself all hot and bothered. The other thing for anybody who would relate to her, the girlfriend going, I don't want to have to say it. I think part of it is the not knowing what you want, and that makes me think of our #1 book recommendation of all fucking time, Tongue Tied by Stella Harris, because there's an entire, I think it's one, maybe more than one chapter on the idea of before you can communicate what you want with your partner, you gotta fucking figure out what you want. And the author goes through different ways to do that. But that's also work and effort. And I'm not going to shit on somebody who's like, I really don't want to put the effort in, because look, plenty of points in my life where I'm like, I just don't want to put the effort in. I get that, but I love that this person is like, I'm not doing this without knowing what the limits are and the boundaries are. That's chef's kiss. Love it. The other thing is, it sounds like maybe, and I hesitate to even say it, because does this person even know what this is? They might want free use, but they have the fantasy in their head that they just go, do what you want, and that's the end of it. You can do free use. You can do consensual non-consent. All of those things happen after you learn each other, you trust, you communicate.
A whole lot of negotiating.
So much communication and negotiation. And that, again, that goes back to people are thinking of the fantasy, and they have no idea about all the work that goes into it to get to that fantasy. And how good it can be doing small little things that you actively have said, yes, I would like to do that. Yes, that excites me and intrigues me. I made myself hot and sweaty on this one.
You did.
I really did.
That got the blood pressure up a little bit, I think, on you.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Does BDSM provide structure? The title is innocent sounding. Let's get into this, though. As the title suggests, does getting into BDSM provide structure to one's life? Reason behind this is due to a worry of mine, but I'm trying to be supportive of my partner's choice. The worry is that they want to get into BDSM to provide structure in their life, specifically kinks that involve impact that will break you down on a mental level. They want a dom to just break them and put them back together as a way to overcome personal issues in their life. I won't go... Oh, hold on. There was a typo, and now I'm trying to decipher what they said. I don't know what they're trying to say, but the question is this really a healthy way, or better yet, a good reason to get into BDSM? I want to be supportive in this endeavor, but I just have my doubts if this is right or not. So I'm asking from those who are more knowledgeable to give me their thoughts on the matter. So I want the fantasy, because you don't know what it actually entails.
Yeah.
The dom to break me down, however you want to say it, to then build me back up, to manage the stuff that I'm going through.
And that's scary. You know, I
kink is therapeutic. It is not therapy.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. And it sounds that's like what this person may need.
Right.
Is some therapy. You know, and not to do it through BDSM.
No, like to be, and this means something individual to anybody who could conceive it. To be broken down or broken by your dom can be cathartic in ways. Not necessarily. There's no universal experience people have by that. That catharsis can help you get some emotion out that you were dealing with, can help clear your mind, can leave you so exhausted and boneless you can't think of the things going on. Yes to all of that, but that is no replacement for, in the whatever ways are accessible to you, dealing with the things that are making you feel that way in the first place.
I mean, you know, the whole thing does BDSM provide structure. To a certain extent, yes, it does.
Right.
Absolutely.
When I saw the question, I was like, well, yes. And I thought we were going to talk about power exchange and the structure of...
Right. Exactly.
That's not where we went.
It does. It absolutely does. You know, in a power exchange sense, absolutely. You know, but what they're talking about, I mean, you know, in a sense, there was a time, could almost say that, you know, there were times when I broke you. Sure. You know, because you would come to me and, you know, I need to cry. I need to let it out.
My skin feels itchy.
Yeah.
My skin feels too tight.
And spank you, you know, till you cry. You know, and no, once you hit that point, then it stops, and, you know, time to bring you back.
But that was also a planned situation.
Yes.
It was not the only way we interacted with impact and kink. That was
correct.
Like, we had the fun stuff, we had the sexy stuff, we had the whatever stuff, and then this was like slotted in of I know that this will give me a catharsis, and that's what I'm seeking. Not that it will fix my life.
Right. And I was just going to caveat that with saying, you know, but we both know that is not going to fix anything.
Right.
Okay? You know, you still were talking to somebody at the time, you know. So, yeah, no.
And, you know, the question brings up, you know, can you set up a situation in a relationship, negotiated, communicated, blah, 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 where there is a certain form of scening or contact with one another where and it can even be on a routine or a schedule or a, you know, whatever, where, because maintenance spankings are a thing, right? You know, you're going to get this kind of whatever they mean by being broken down, right? You're going to get this kind of interaction, and in hopes that you get the catharsis or the whatever that you're seeking. Can people negotiate that and create that structure into their physical interactions with other? Abso-fucking-lutely. But personally, I would not recommend a person who's not into BDSM, knows nothing about BDSM, to be asked to do that. Like, could you just hit me until I cry? Don't worry about learning about BDSM. I'm just asking you to do this thing for me, right? Or being asked to go become a dom, learn about being a dom specifically for this kind of play, physical interaction. However, I don't even want to call it play when it's like that, because that's not playful and fun. That's that's work, right? One, it negates everything that your partner, who you're asking to be your dom, who they are, what they might want, what they're going to learn about BDSM and themselves on this path. And it's setting up that partner to literally be a kink dispenser.
Yeah.
And that's like that's the most literal explanation of kink dispensing I've seen in a long time. So there's that. There's also assuming that doing this activity, or one of a handful of activities that classifies as breaking you or breaking you down, will work every time. Because there were a few times where I was like, yeah, I would like to cry. I need this catharsis. I need this therapy space. I need to stop feeling anxious. And you could have wailed on me for a few hours. I was not having the response I was hoping I would get from that. Because you can't control that.
You can't control that. It's just like saying, well, you know, I want to go into subspace every time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to happen every time.
And you can't force it.
No.
So not only is it not an ethical or risk-aware way to practice kink in general by just going break me every fucking time, and that's the only reason you should be doing kink. It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to... Can people use kink or dive into kink or explore kink based on shit they've gone through as big and important as trauma to less of that? Of course they can.
There have been some people who have.
Absolutely. That's not what's air quote wrong. It's the setting this whole scenario up to quote fix somebody, and asking their partner to just be a kink dispenser for them, and only using it for that one thing without going to do the actual work. Like there's,
could you imagine? I'm you know, thinking about this and listening. I could not even imagine being the dom or the top for somebody like that, and. You know, I don't say this lightly at this point, you know, but God forbid something happens to that person, regardless if it's a direct thing of something that you are doing at the moment, or just, you know, think of how that, you know, because BDSM is not going to fix anything. It's not going to make anything different or better. Okay,
not on its own.
Not on its own. Definitely not on its own. So, you know, God forbid something happens to that person. Imagine how that top would feel, that dom would feel.
Absolutely. There's a huge responsibility and weight you're asking this person to bear. Yeah. I'm going to need you to do this kinky shit to me to fix me. I'm going to need you to do all this work. Break me down and build me back up. I don't know if it's because I'm definitely submissive or if it's because I'm too literal of a thinker. I don't know. I have always struggled with, I cannot conceive the picture in my mind of breaking down to build up. I know people use it. I know people who experience it.
There have been a lot of people that use it. I don't see it as much anymore. Years ago, I used to see it a lot.
I don't even mean just the terminology. I mean, there are people who they would describe what they went through as being broken down and then built back up, right? By their dom, by their top. I know people have that experience. My brain cannot put a picture to what those words mean. Like, I'm like, what does breaking mean? Does breaking mean crying? Does breaking mean taking you to the edge of your limits? And maybe it means all of that, and that's hard for me to conceive too. You know, what does it mean? And then how do they build you back up? Like, isn't that a skill? Are you built back up by their love and support, if that's the kind of relationship you have? Are you built back up because they put in the hard work of helping you see yourself in a new light? That's a lot to fucking ask of somebody who isn't already your kink partner and you haven't already established this rapport and this relationship and whatever y'all are to one another in kink. Like, first of all, yeah, my brain is what it is, and I literally am like, what does that mean though? Yeah. What does that look like? I need an example. But also, if it is how I just described it by finally thinking about it out loud, that's a lot to ask for somebody. Yeah. And it's can it be done ethically? Absolutely. This is an unethical request.
Yeah. I mean, I have read things in the media, mainstream media, where, you know, they are looking at things that in some cases, BDSM in conjunction with therapy has helped some people with PTSD.
Yes, I've seen that report too.
In conjunction with therapy.
Right.
Okay. Not.
And that's more about your personal experience with BDSM. As dom or sub, with top or bottom, however you interact with it, not looking at your partner and going, I need you to be the one to fix me. Yeah. Go learn all this, bring it back. Yeah. And do this abstract thing of breaking me down and building me back up. Because the conversation would have to be, what the fuck do you mean? How do you want me to break you?
What does breaking mean to you?
And what does building up look like or feel like? Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And it kills me. Does BDSM provide structure? I would not say the entire umbrella of it necessarily. But if the question had been about power exchange, I've been like, oh my God, so much structure.
in a power exchange, it absolutely can.
Right. The whole thing can be structured.
If it's built right, if it's built that way, that's how you want it.
So when I saw that title, I thought that's where we were going.
And it was going total 180.
We took a left somewhere. I don't know what happened. As I point right. Don't ask me to follow a map. Okay. So that was the last one. I told you every one of them had some elements in it that make you go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This was our what the fuck BDSM.
Excuse me.
Reddit.
Sorry, folks.
Response/reaction. But that was the last one.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Somebody just said in chat, he said, a relationship killer. You're in charge of how I feel.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. That's so problematic. Right. That's so problematic. Short-term, negotiated, in scene. Maybe, but even then, it's like subspace, and it's like drop, and it's like anything that is happening within our brain that we don't actually control. You can't control any of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our pre-Thanksgiving / Black Friday, depending on when you're listening to this, episode. Before we go in the bonus section, just a reminder, all the sales companies we like, toys we like, our own shit, links are in the places. Don't pay full price if you ain't gotta.
There you go.
Yeah. My heart rate's up.
I know.
My face is hot.
That one kind of got me going a little bit, too.
Sucked down all of my coffee, and I'm probably speaking even faster than I was at the top. So yeah, let's go into a bonus section where we can complain.
Okay. So,
about the life we chose.
are we good?
I don't know. Not for me to say.
Keep it kinky, y'all.
And we'll see you next week. Daddy.
Yes, baby girl.
Can we talk to the crickets?
Yeah.
Okay. That was the umpteenth time today where we said a thing we have said now for 420 fucking episodes, and in the middle of it my brain went, wait, are we saying this right? Wait, was that the right word? In midstream. That is very frustrating because my instinct is to stop and correct, but we're in it and there's a part of my brain going, no, you got it right, keep going. I think my little emotions sitting at the desk of my inside out brain, like 4 of them are named Panic. And one of them can't tell time, read a calendar, or know their left from their right.
Speaking of Inside Out, do you know that they're making that into a series?
You know that's the 3rd time we've talked about this.
No.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me for real?
For real.
I sent him a reel, Instagram reel, with a little preview doolally trailer-like thing of the Inside Out show series.
Maybe that's where I saw it.
2 days after I sent that, he says to me, what you just heard, did you know they're making an Inside Out series show, whatever. And now, again, who is manning the control board in your brain?
It's short-circuiting.
Clearly, somebody spilled their coffee on it, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, we will talk a little bit about that after this, because I think I'm getting a handle on what is going on with all that with me.
Is it the same reason, and you don't have to say anything, that you're juggling right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Something different.
whole different thing. Okay. All right. So, yeah, podcast folks can't see it. I've been
it's a little stressy.
Little stress ball.
Squeezy ball.
Yeah.
Because his fidget spinner, we learned in a concert, is loud.
Yeah. Yeah. I also have a fidget spinner that I play
Yes.
with. Why would I have either one of these? 1 week and 2 days ago.
Not that he's counting.
1 week and 2 days ago.
9 days.
I set down my e-cig.
We call it his whoopee.
My whoopee, yeah.
You would have to know a Mr. Mom 80s movie reference to know what that is. But if you do, you're our people.
You're right. So, I started vaping years ago when I gave up my cigarette habit. And I vaped for many years now at this point. It was probably, about a year and a half ago, cut out the nicotine.
And I didn't know, y'all. I've been walking around here just not knowing he wasn't on nicotine.
It was a flawless transition. She never knew.
I never noticed.
It was a flawless.
Never noticed.
It was a flawless transition. So, and I kept vaping even though it was, no nicotine, because I've always enjoyed, even though my doctor always told me, you need to quit smoking, you need to stop smoking. But I've always enjoyed it. So I came to a point recently. It was like, I need to stop this. It needs to stop. And I set it down. And here I am.
Now, what we've also discovered, so I am no expert, I am no professional, but from like the psychology side of things, because that's what fascinates me the most. Everything I've seen makes total sense. He's had the physical experience of first smoking cigarettes, then using his vape for literal decades. When did you actually smoke your first cigarette? How old were you?
I was 11.
Right. He's 63. Literal decades, right? So the habit is ingrained. So it all makes sense that he needs to keep his hands busy. I'm more surprised he's not sucking on Tic Tacs, but it's fine. But here's what we've both learned is just how often he would, because he would like it is his whoopee, he would comfort hold that damn
I would just hold it in my hand.
He would fall asleep with it in his hand, y'all. So he's used to having something in his hands. So he needs to keep his hands busy anytime his brain can get quiet. That includes when driving. Now, I'm grateful he's not doing the fidget spinner while driving.
No.
But he does the squeezy ball. But I don't know if it's bumps in the road. I don't know if it's traffic. I don't know if it's just whoever's running the switchboard in his brain. But he would almost drop his squeezy ball while driving.
Because there are times when I have it in my hand, I'm not just squeezing it, I am flipping it. And I'm flipping it.
And so when it nearly falls out of his hand while driving, he has the very natural reflex to want to go look for it and catch it and pick it up. And I'm like, could you just let it drop and I'll get it for you? I'd like to make it to our destination alive.
Yeah. But
we did also learn that the fidget spinner that he thought was quiet, the man who is hard of hearing and uses hearing aids, was telling us the volume of something. We're sitting in the oldest concert, and it was in between songs or movements, but it got real quiet.
Yeah. And I stopped that shit dead.
At the same time, my hand clapped over, and we're like, so glad this room is dark right now.
Yeah.
So squeezy ball it is.
So, and certain, while I do like the fidget spinner, and certain, the squeezy ball is going to be it.
It's the quietest.
Yeah.
But it's clearly not the safest while he's driving down the road. Oh my gosh. But he did the putting down his vape the way he did quitting nicotine, which is he just did it and he didn't say anything to me, but he started running around the house, going to the youngest, going, do you still have your old fidget spinner? The child doesn't have a lot in his room, but basically tore up his room, couldn't find the old fidget spinner. I'm pretty sure I remember which box it went in for donations a year or so ago. Yeah. He comes to me and goes, where are our squeezy balls? We have our squeezy balls. Where are they? And I'm like, and then like 2 days later, and he goes, oh, Amazon order. Can we get fidget spinners? I'm like, send me the link of the one you want. Okay. And all of this. And he's like frantic running around. And I'm like, I should ask, but he'll tell me, I guess. But what? But also my brain, I'd floated off like 30 seconds later anyway and forgot we'd had the conversation. And finally he comes up to me and goes, you're probably wondering why I'm asking about fidget spinners and squeezy balls. And first I had the moment of, wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's right. And then I went, oh, yeah. And that's when he told me. But that was quicker than me finding out he had quit nicotine. I'm very happy for you. I'm proud of you. I'm going to support you in whatever way we can. Just please do not get us killed on the road because you dropped your squeezy ball. I will pick it up for you.
Well,
it'll be a service.
I will say this, all right? I kind of, but you know what I did not do? Both times when that happened, my eyes never left that road. I
don't care. I'm too anxious for that. One of your hands was no longer, and you moved, and then the act of moving, the steering wheel shifted just slightly, and that half a degree of movement was too much for me. But I am also the person. Okay, so we were a very good niece and nephew-in-law. That makes me laugh. Yeah. JB is the nephew-in-law to my aunt and uncle, and he is 2 to 3 years older than them. Sure, he's their nephew. Sure. None of us mentioned that. Like, my mother does not refer to him as her son-in-law unless it's to make everybody uncomfortable because they're the same age. Age gap relationships are fascinating and uncomfortable. So my aunt and uncle needed help today to get their vehicle that needed to go into the body shop there and to pick up their rental car. Mm-hmm. And my uncle, for reasons, is not driving right now. And my aunt does not usually drive, but she has been driving while my uncle is unable to drive. Mm-hmm. But my aunt has vision issues. Now, they are better after multiple surgeries, but she has no peripheral vision. Like, it's a tunnel. I say I have no peripheral vision, but mostly because I'm really not paying attention. She is, shuttered. Like, she only can see straight. But she drives. They're adults. We've offered. They're going to do what they want to do. I can't make them do shit. So, because it was a 2-vehicle situation, she needed help. She thought that what would happen is my uncle would ride with John, I had to call you that earlier, and it slipped out, would ride with JB in the vehicle to go to the place, and I would ride with my aunt. And I'm not an assertive person in many situations with many people. I'm too much of a people pleaser. But my anxiety will sometimes take over and speak for me. And I said, oh, I'm not riding in the car if you're driving and it's just the two of us. I will ride with you driving if I can sit in the back seat and not look at the road. But if you need navigation, I'm not riding with you. Yeah. And I felt bad because I think I kind of hurt her feelings. But I was like, I am too anxious. I am already a really bad passenger. You don't want me to be anxious. And I didn't say this to her. I remember how you drove when you did have your full sight. Yeah. It was terrifying. It was great to 8-year-old me, who thought it was really cool that we were racing the old people down the highway. Adult me is well aware of how bad that could go. Not doing it. Yeah. I'm going to stay with my comfort person. His name is JB. He can drive me anywhere. I just drive him crazy. And until he drops his squeezy ball and it scares the shit out of me.
Well, the thing I found funny about all this, I had no problem helping them.
No, I'm happy to. Wish they would let us help them more.
So
that she was not driving around so much.
Because there's some things that have been going on. I've been scratching my head and like, why are they doing that? But anyway, they're at least her plan for the morning was very convoluted.
Oh, it involved 3 vehicles.
Yeah. And going back to their house twice, I think.
That was I added that convolution. She thought we were going to take 3 vehicles to go, 2 vehicles to go pick up one. Then it would be 3 vehicles to go drop off the
one.
Other. We were like, no, we don't.
Like, no.
We're not going to do that.
No.
But I think I did hurt her feelings because I was like, I love you so much. If you're driving, I'm not riding. Not front seat, not navigator. Because she would not have known how to get from where they picked up the rental to the body shop place without either following JB, which is what they did, or having somebody to navigate for her. And I was like, I can't be forced to pay attention to the road while you're driving. If I can't sit in the back seat with my face in my phone, I can't do it.
I'll let her in.
So, yeah, it made for a very early morning, and they asked last week because it was an appointment thing with their insurance, and I was fascinated by that because I have the same insurance they have, and when we had an accident and needed like body work done or whatever, it was not an appointment thing. They were like Wild West out there. Go find your body shop.
Yeah.
But they asked last week, but they said, oh, we might not need your help, but we'll let you know. And when we didn't hear anything by like midday Tuesday, we were both like, ooh, maybe they don't need our help. Because as I complained about in the butt rub section to the live stream, we are in Black Friday panic mode right now. And so we were like, okay, maybe they won't need us Wednesday morning. They needed us Wednesday morning. So Tuesday evening, my aunt
reached out after dinner last night.
Right. And we are planners at this house. So that felt like cutting it close to us. So my aunt's telling me what they need and the times. And I'm like, okay, well, we're here to help and we can help. I was like, and normally when we all get together, it's like a 2 or 3 hour on top of whatever the time. I said, we will be moving with purpose on Wednesday because we have to get back home to get stuff ready. And the nice thing is, they know we work in air quote adult stuff. But as I explained to my aunt, do not ask what you do not want to know because you can't unknow if I tell you. So all I have to do is say Black Friday and everybody in the family gets it because everybody's worked retail at some point. Yeah. So they respected it. But I think they thought we were joking because we did the drive-thru to get coffee. We get back to their house. We walked out of the garage to our car as they're trying to walk in, and they're like, oh, you don't want to come in? We're like, nope, we don't have time. We love you so much. We were glad to be able to help.
But we got so much work to do.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, that was...
The last 2 nights, you've been working late.
I've been doing
Crazy
a candle restock
Yep.
for Black Friday.
Yep.
And I don't remember. I think I only said it in the butt rub for the live stream. So podcast listeners, I'm adding a new color. Green wax play candles.
Yeah.
It's a pretty green too. But yeah, last night I made 60 candles. JB sent me a reel, which led to a purchase of my very first ever wax melter. And see, serious candle makers would know about wax melters. And I kind of knew about them, but I didn't know you could get them in like small size. I thought you could only do it like industrial. And I was like, I don't have room for industrial nor money. So I got my very first wax melter and I'm in love with it, but I keep also calling it, it's wax melter. I keep saying Max Welter. I don't know how many times I've said Max Welter. I did think today that's a great name for a character. TV show, book, whatever. If you're looking for the name for a character you're writing, go for it. Max Welter. I give it to you for free.
That would be, Max Headroom's relative?
Anyway, yeah. So I think I hurt my aunt's feelings. But look, we arrived alive to all the destinations. It was great.
Yeah.
I also learned that JB had not known of a shortcut to get from a certain point on the road to where the Starbucks is. I thought he had to take this long windy way. And he goes, I just learned about it. No, he said, we just learned about it the other day. I went, there's no we here. Okay. I've known for literal years. Right. About it. And I'm sitting there with all of like my what the fuck kind of energy this morning going, who am I? What is wrong with me? And I don't know if it was lack of sleep or if the hanger was creeping in. We did not eat breakfast till almost 10 o'clock. Yeah. If the hanger was starting to creep in and I just didn't realize it because I was telling everybody what I thought.
Yeah.
I usually reserve that energy for y'all. I don't usually do that to my family.
It was bubbling over this morning. It was bubbling over. Yeah.
I know. So anyway, we're good. We're crazed. It's the good kind of crazy. It's the kind of crazy we tell ourselves every year. We will be better prepared for this next year. We are never, in fact, better prepared for it.
Never are.
The plan, the goal is to not have to do work on Thursday for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. But at this point, I don't know. It might still be midnight and I'll be like, I need to take another picture. I got to edit another picture. I got to post another thing. So.
And I have just been making.
I know. And hopefully people like what we make.
Yep.
That's the ultimate, like if you're a person who makes a thing and sells it, that's like, oh my God, we've spent time and money on this. Will anybody like this? And they can't all be winners, y'all. And we've had some duds.
Yep.
So, yeah. But we're going to stop doing this now.
Yeah.
So we can go do that.
Because we got to go back to work.
I'm also hot, so I need to get out of the warm clothes I put on because it was cold this morning. Florida cold, y'all. Florida cold. Not actual cold. The dog is good. She's been a menace today. This weather that we've had where it's been actually chilly and very pleasant and even, dare I say, cold for Florida, she does not know how to act.
No.
She goes in and out more often. If she would use a doggy door, we'd open the doggy. She's not going to use a doggy door. We've tried. In and out all damn day.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, I just want to sit for a minute. Cats are menaces, as usual.
Yep.
So yeah, same shit,
good.
different day.
Yep. All's good.
So on that note, we're gonna go.
So thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, especially to the bitter end.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.